Good evening all. This is not the French Riviera. Marsascala Twilight. I posted a video here earlier just after we got here. Now, say hello to lovely Brenda. You haven't seen her for a while.
Hi everyone.
We are both hungry and going to dinner with our dearest. Our church. Now, this is not summer, guys. This is May the 5th. It's quite warm. Let's just say everyone is preparing for summer. I'm surprised at the activity on the promenade. You can see in front of me. There are tourists. I know there are tourists because some of the people here are not Maltese. It's just evident. Quite a bit of activity. People walking dogs, people on scooters, people with gelatis, people eating burgers. The promenade is all lit up like a Christmas tree. The church bells were just ringing. It just went 8 o'clock. And I was doing a video earlier, but I had to stop because I got excited. Brenda was pointing out all these big fish just down here in front of us. Some of them were creating quite the surge, yeah, like not the type of surge you're going to get from a little mullet, but the type of surge you would get from a fish at least 1.5 foot, maybe 40 or 50 centimetres long. We saw quite a few of them. You're probably not going to see them now because it's going to be dark. Now, for those of you not familiar, Marsascala down south we are. We're just up here behind these lights. Down south, neighbouring Marsascala, the popular fishing village you see, with all the lovely seafood restaurants and all the colourful boats done typically in the primary colours, blue, red, yellow, with a few others mixed in. You've seen all the postcards, they're beautiful. And then this is Marsascala, and then there's Bulger a bit further up, Pretty Bay. So this local village scene is just duplicated all up the coast, yeah? All around the coast, right up. Of course, we've got the magnificent real touristy destinations, the nightlife, the action, the big restaurants, those areas there. So I'm talking St. Julian's, I'm talking beautiful Sliema, of course, Valletta, and the three cities. But then you've got all these other villages. So as you go further north, we've got Aura and Bujibba, where many of my followers stay, and they love it. Aura, Bujibba, go on to St. Paul's Bay, Melilla, and so on. So this is just replicated all around the island. Lots of diverse options, different costs of accommodation, different options, many places to stay to suit your budget. But just people, ambience, people having a good time. Now, I'm a fisherman and I'm getting pretty excited because there are a lot more people here fishing than normal. Now, it's probably a good time to be fishing, I guess, as the sun goes down. But common sense would tell me that people probably wouldn't persist if they're not going to catch anything. So I've got a few rods back in the flat. It looks like I'll have to give it a go. Yeah, it's just a beautiful sunset tonight, guys. It's a shame there's that big crane there. That crane is working on that big, massive project. I talked about it last year, redoing the big facade here, the big hotel. Other than that, there's only one right behind the buildings there. There's nothing else on this side. You'd recall last year I was talking a lot about some of the facts and myths that we read about and hear about, and I'll try not to go on about it too much. Okay, but here we are, it's an evening. I assume they do the cleaning in the morning and nobody's been here all day. Well, These pavements are spotless. In fact, we just spent 2 weeks in Italy, and let me tell you, it's very exaggerated there as well. You know, we didn't see piles of rubbish or anything. And we were doing a tour, but we did go on many back streets, many alleyways, and you see a bit of rubbish around Rome, and the canals in Venice are a bit dirty, but even Sorrento, the canals were. But I think bad news is always exaggerated. Certainly right here, right now in Marsascala, this place is spotless. I'm not even seeing the usual dog droppings. And I'm also seeing a lot of new places, such as this Orient Market, which I haven't seen. There's also a lovely looking restaurant or spot just across the marina here called Hermanos. And I've heard very good things about it. There it is right there. So, anyway, certainly we're not going to get bored or hungry whilst we are here, and then as usual I can get home and get on another diet. Alright, we are heading for our first night to the Nargileh Lounge, one of our favourites. We always go there when we come here. Magnificent Arabic and Indian food, including a sort of a blended menu. It's fantastic. It's also very good for vegans and vegetarians with a lot of options. So from Marsascala, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's fish bubbling everywhere out there. God, getting excited. From Marsascala, have a good evening. Just getting started. I've got something in mind for later this evening. I'm not sure if I'll do it tonight or tomorrow night. It might be a bit of a surprise for some of you. It's something I generally do here when I come, but I've never done it on video. But you'll find more about that later. Thank you for all your support. Feel free to share all our